Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to a brand new edition of Rave, Diaries and Tab Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's in the building. As always, thank you to all of you that have been watching the other episodes and the run, come, follow stuff that I do on the other playlist, and liking, commenting, subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, why not? It's only a little button down there. Yeah, big up all you lot anyway. So today's episode, we're going to go pirate radio. The last one was Rave related that we did. So today we're going to go pirate radio. More specific, we're going to take you back to around, I think it was 2001. It might have been 2002. But it was Rinse FM's Dagenham Studio #2. Because the famous Dagenham Studio, and we will do stories. There's more than one story from the Rinse Dagenham Studio, the famous one, including, filming, faking it, and the Battle of Faxted House, and all sorts of other mad stuff that went on. That is probably my favourite, maddest studio of all time. But we'll save that story for another day. Today, we're going to go to the lesser known one, which was on Dagenham Heathway Hill, believe it or not. So all you lot that used to listen to Rinse FM 1003 back in the day, from Dagenham especially, little known to you lot, for about maybe 3 months, 2 or 3 months, the studio was actually on Dagenham Heathway Hill. If you come out of Dagenham Heathway station and do a right, a couple of doors along, there was a sports shop. I forget, was it called Kestrel Sports or something like that? We was in the flat above there for a little while, off the back, between Dagenham Studio 1 and moving to Cable Street, which is another load of stories for you further down the line. We was in Dagenham 2, Dagenham Heathway. So how did we get this one? This was a squat that we had, and basically originally my old mate Ian Keller, he used to live in there. I worked with him on the council. He's a good lad, Ian. He's a good lad. Never got into the rave thing, but he's a solid Dagenham geezer. But he lived in there with his missus Tina and the kids for a while, and then they moved out. And I won't name him because I'm hoping that he's cleaned up his act now, and I don't want to bait him up. But there was a smackhead in Dagenham. Well, there's loads of them, but there was a smackhead in Dagenham that we all knew, and he ended up squatting in this flat, with him and a load of the other smackheads. So needles and foil and all that malarkey was going on in there. Anyway, I think we needed a studio. Now, I don't want to say that we threw him out the flat. I think we did, but I can't remember. He may have already left, but something in my back of my mind is saying to me that he got slung out the flat, old matey, the smackhead, and we hoofed all them lot out because we needed somewhere quick time. But again, don't quote me on that. So, right, we're at Dagenham Heathway. You go around the back of the shops on the Dagenham Heathway Hill, the opposite side of the mill, the station side. You go down to Richards Road, then you go back up the alley, and then it's like an iron staircase up to the top, zigzag, and then you go in through the front door. The first thing you do, you go into the kitchen. That's where the door opens up to. You've got a toilet on your right, and then you go through, and there was a room on your left, and then there was a room straight in front, a bedroom and a front room. The front room looked out over Dagenham Heathway Hill. The side room was where we had the studio, so we weren't being as, well, we were trying not to be bait. As not bait as you can be, basically on a high road, with music blasting out, with Herberts coming in and out, left, right and centre all day and all night. But yeah, we got away with it. We didn't get raided, so we got away with it. But anyway, when we moved into this flat, there was a lot of drug paraphernalia and debris scattered around. Like, these guys have been squatting in there, and they weren't really giving a shit. So we couldn't really call in anyone to clean it. We have to do, this is the downside of pirate that no one really gets to see, is things like this. Like, we had to clear up a smackhead's flat and do all the needles, and now, we all know what needles are and blah, blah, blah. But because we were stupid back then, like nowadays, I would go and get a plastic box and I would do it properly. But what we did was, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But downstairs, the shop, like I say, was a sports shop that had been shut down for ages, and the smackheads had pulled up one of the floorboards in the hallway, kicked the ceiling through, and they'd been throwing their rubbish down there, but they'd gone down there and robbed whatever was left in there, and they'd been throwing, because when we looked through with the torch and that into the shop below, because the shutters were down, it was dark, we could see they'd just been chucking all their shit down there. So we got all of their bits and bobs, all their paraphernalia, and we threw it through the thing. But when you walked, it's bad, isn't it? When you walked down the hallway, there was like I think it was 2 floorboards that they took up so they could fit through it. So there was 2 floorboards missing. So if you went through that, you was just falling onto the spikes of doom, like syringes and stuff. They were literally directly below. Not just what we'd thrown down there, what they'd been throwing down there. So anyway, that's pirate radio for you. Moving on with the story, we would all sit in the kitchen. Me, Geeneus, Slimsy, all the like. There was a lot of Dagenham heads around that time there because we was in Dagenham. So Dogsy would be there, all the OT lot, Melman and Jacko and people like that, Sterling and Aubrey. There was a crowd of us that time. There was a crowd of us around the radio that were like core people that were around a lot. So at any one time, there'd be anything from sort of like 3, 4, 5 to maybe 15, 20 of us sitting in the kitchen, having a puff, having a chat, talking about music, radio, having a laugh and all that. The radio would be in the middle room and then the front room was blocked off. So no one could go down there and look out the bait window onto the high road, which is Dagenham Heathway Hill, again, just in case you forgot. So at the time, we was linking to Faxted House in Dagenham, and to link from your studio to your tower block, then the tower block transmits to London. You've got a little thing. It's like a horn, basically. Looks like a horn. And on top of that is a screw. Now, the screw acts a bit like when you're tuning in a radio, but it's tuning in your frequency to your receiver that's on the tower block roof, which then goes to your transmitter, which then broadcasts to London. So the screw that we had was a bit iffy, yeah, on the thing. So now and again, you'd be listening to the radio in the kitchen where we were and it'd start hissing a little bit. Or sometimes it would just jump out and just go, shh, as if you'd been cut off. We'd have to quickly jump out, jump on the front door, up onto the roof, which was a flat roof. All the shops along the Heathway there are flat roofs. And turn the screw a little bit, and then someone in the kitchen would shout, yeah, that's it, boom, and we'll be back on again, get back down, get back in the kitchen. Normally took a minute or two, no big deal. On this particular day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a DJ called Culprit was playing. Yeah, I won't say his real name because he does legal stuff now, and I don't want to bait him up. He's actually, he does property, buys and sells houses and gaffs. But DJ Culprit, he was in there with a few of his mates. I think Johnny Holland and a few others was in there with him. Like, you know, your mates used to come radio with you. Anyway, they're in there playing Saturday afternoon. It must have been about 3 o'clock-ish. I think his show was 3 till 5. Anyway, I'm with G, Slim, pretty sure Sterling was there. I'm sure Dogsy Reese was there. A crowd of us, maybe 8, 10 of us are in the kitchen, having a little smoke, just having a laugh and all that. There's some kids running around. Now, when we were kids, we used to get on them roofs at the Heathway shops because they're flat roofs. Like I was saying, if you run down, you jump over the alley if you're stupid enough, like we were, and they are the kids that was up there on this day. But we can hear them running around on the thing. And then the screw's gone. So G's doing his nut. He's gone up on the roof to get rid of the kids and turn the screw. He's up there like 1 minute, yeah? All of a sudden, there's a knock on the front door. So I've gone out to the front door to answer it, thinking that it's G, he's coming down off the roof, but the door's shut or whatever. I've opened the front door. There's 2 old bills standing there, uniform police, yeah, standing on the doorstep. So I look at them. I'm like, yeah, can I help you? They're like, we've had reports of burglars on the roof. I said, it's not burglar. I said, the kids are running around on the roof. And he looked over my shoulder and he smelt the weed and he walked straight past me, yeah, down the hallway where you do the right into the bathroom. The left straight away, like I say, that took you straight into the kitchen. It was a short, little, tiny hallway. So I've quickly run in front. I said, what are you fucking doing? He's like, I can smell weed. I said, so? What are you fucking doing? I said, have you got a warrant? No, I ain't got. I said, well, get out of my fucking flat. Is it your flat? I said, yes, it is. Get out of my flat. So all the meantime, I'm thinking, gee, don't come down off the roof. Because now the copper's in the flat and the other one's standing just inside the flat. If G ain't seen them, he's going to come down off the roof. They're going to be like, why are you on the roof? Go up there, look at the thing, pirate radio, boom, we're all nicked. So I'm saying to him, I'm trying to usher him away while he's trying to push the way down the thing. And he's looked round into the kitchen and there's, like I say, there's about 8 or 10 of us in there, puff, smoke, flipping. Luckily, one of the lot that was in the kitchen had clocked at the old bill and they'd gone in and got Culprit to turn the music down. So him and his mates were in the front room sitting there like they're in a library, you know what I mean, all shitting themselves. Culprit thinks he's going to lose his tunes. The other lot are in the kitchen, still puffing like it's a my flat, like you ain't got a warrant, piss off. But now I'm trying to usher him and I'm pushing him back and I'm pushing him back up the thing and I'm saying to him, bro, if you ain't got a warrant, get out of my fucking flat, out. And I've got him up to the thing and all the time thinking, gee, don't come down. Now, unbeknown to me, G is on the top looking down, so the front door is there, and he said he was just about to jump down and he saw a copper's hat, you know what I mean, straight away. So he stepped back and he's sort of looking, peering over the edge, thinking, fucking, if they come up, he's got to do a runner or take the horn, so it ain't a pirate radio anymore. If they can't find the horn, we're just playing music in the front room. So he's dealing with all that on the roof. I'm downstairs trying to usher these fucking idiots out the flat. Got them out the flat, slammed the door, boom, done, got rid of them. 5 minutes later, I knock on the door, look through the thing, it's G, let him back in. Mate, what's happened? So I've told him the score. Fucking kids, someone's rung the old bill. They've come down and they've knocked on the first floor because ours was the closest one to the station. I've opened the door, they've smelt the weed, walked in, you know, you're on the roof. I'm thinking, don't look up there, blah, blah, blah. He was like, brother, I looked over and saw the old bill. I grabbed the horn and like I was ready to scarp her, and I said, fuck's sake. Anyway, but now they've kind of like, we think that the old bill are onto us, and so we was only in there probably for another couple of weeks after that, and then we moved over to Cable Street where there's another bag of shenanigans, even worse, that happened over there, where Slimsy got his ASBO, the first ever ASBO in pirate radio, among many other things. And all them stories are to come. But that was the story of Dagenham 2, the Rinse studio, number 2 in Dagenham, on Dagenham Heathway Hill, round about 2001-ish, 2002. Like I say, when we left the Church Elm Lane one, which again has got a lot of stories attached to it. This is like a little starter. This is the prawn cocktail, yeah? The Heathway is just a little prawn cocktail story. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. As always, please don't forget to like and comment all your pirate radio stories. I read them all, I comment and I reply on every single one that I get on the channel. I love going through them all. More so on it, I mean, I do the Run Come Follow playlist, don't it, which is my video diary. And the comments on there are great, but I feel with this, it's more of a community thing. And I say it all the time, we're building this sort of picture of stories underneath the videos, and the videos and the comments will live forever. Do you know what I mean? People will use these as research long after we're all gone. So yeah, it's really important that you lot get involved as well. But in the meantime, thank you, one love, peace. But yeah, in the meantime, one love to you all, peace. I'm out of here till next time. All right, big up.